Over the last 5 months, I have produced over 400 videos, posting every single day. And the only reason that was even possible is because of the system I used to create my content. Over the last months, this system has evolved into something big. I've added features, removed features, and reworked features. So only the key things that every creator needs are still there. It is currently in the testing phase. So if you're interested in trying yourself, drop your Instagram in the comments and I will reach out. But be warned, we only have 4 spots left. So if you want a system that helps you schedule, track, and analyze your content, write your IG in the comments or DM me directly at raphys.life on Instagram. Now let's move on with the video. For someone just starting out, a content system might not feel like something you need right now. But as you move forward, you run into the same problems every creator eventually faces. Either you have no system at all, meaning ideas are scattered all over the place, your notes, your camera roll, and your head, and as things get chaotic, you will forget the ideas. Or maybe you use the template as a system, but it has thousands of features you will never use. Both of these will eventually lead to disaster. That is why I'm going to show you a minimalistic content system, one that helps you stay consistent without distracting you. Just the features that actually move you forward. And the best part, it takes less than 10 minutes to set up.
So let's start with the blank page. So for example, this page, you can just name it content system. The first thing we're gonna do is to create a database. And once we created this database, we make a new slash, and then let's create a view for this database. We choose board view, and now, as you can see, this is our board view, and we just name it content pipeline. And now you see we have 3 categories: not started, in progress, and done. If we want to further edit this, and if we want to, we can also do a new one called scripted, which is only for scripted ones. We can rename this to ideas, make it yellow because of ideas, and just customize all of that. Then in progress, yeah, let's leave it at that. And maybe also make another one called scheduled, for example, for YouTube videos that are already scheduled and just need to be published. And now we have our board view, and now the important task is, so as you can see, we only have a sign, which is not really necessary unless you are a real content team that runs for one creator and you have multiple people that do different stages. Then you might need that, but other than that, you just don't need that. But we choose multi-select and name it platforms, and we use the options then, let's say Instagram, Reels, then TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube long form, YouTube Shorts. That's it. So now every time you have a new video, you also can use the different type of video platforms. So for example, if you do a video or post a video on multiple platforms, for example Instagram Reels and TikTok, you can now choose both. But we are not done here, because we also need a date option. There it is. And we call this publish date. This is for the publish date, as it already says. This is for when you publish the videos, and for our purpose we don't really need any other properties. If you feel necessary that you require other properties, then just try them yourselves. But for example, Here we will write our scripts. So here script, and then just write it inside of it. And now let's give it a name, for example test. And now we can drop it in every stage we want it to be in. Now all we need to do is go to settings again, then click on properties visibility and unhide platform and publish date, because now you can see when the video has to be published or is already published and what the platforms are. Then you might also want to filter, so you might only add the filters to filter through if you want to check something particular, for example YouTube Shorts, the long form, and just that if you want to filter that, or by weeks, days, everything. But yeah, and now we go to the interesting parts, which are the views. So we now use the gallery view. This is just for the filters. So we group them by platforms. So right now, as you can see, we group them by Instagram Reels and TikToks. This is just so you have the scripts already here to read and to really filter which platform you use. We might also want to add a calendar, just calendar, just to be sure that we always see where our videos are, so at what point our videos need to be published and how much time we have left for that. Other views just as list, or for example let's also add table, just as you can see. And these are just not necessary, but if you want to add them, you can add them. I personally don't use the list one, but a table view is always nice. And there you have it. Here is your simple and small content pipeline, which for beginners is very good, as you can start with anything and don't have to build a massive system. If this tutorial was helpful for you, then leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.